Over the last few weeks, we've been building layer by layer. We've seen that habits are shaping who we are becoming. We've looked at the heart beneath behavior, and we've recognized that the culture of the home is constantly forming the heart. And now we take an important step forward because once the heart is being shaped, there is still something that must be trained, and that is the will. There's a moment every parent knows. You give a clear instruction, please put your shoes away, and your child hears you, they understand, and they are fully capable of doing it. And yet, nothing happens. Or it happens slowly, or halfway, or with visible resistance. And in that moment, it can feel like a battle of control. Who's in charge? Who gets their way? But what's actually happening is something deeper. The will is being revealed, and it is also being formed. Now, we talk about obedience not as blind compliance, but as the training of the will, the ability to hear what is right and respond to it faithfully. Because a child is not born knowing how to do that, they must be guided, strengthened, and trained over time. 1 Samuel 15:22 reminds us that to obey is better than sacrifice. Because obedience is not just about outward action, it reflects something inside, a heart that is learning to trust, and a will that is learning to respond. And this is where repetition matters. Because habits are not formed in a single moment, they are formed through many small, consistent moments of instruction, response, correction, and practice. This is why obedience cannot be reduced to did they do it or not? It's about how the will is being shaped over time. When we approach obedience as control, we tend to escalate quickly, focus only on immediate results, and miss what is being formed underneath. But when we approach obedience as training, we begin to give clear instruction, expect a response, guide with consistency, and correct with purpose. Not perfectly, but intentionally. Because what we are really doing is helping a child learn. I can hear what is right and choose to do it. And over time, that training begins to bear fruit. The child who once needed constant prompting begins to respond more quickly, more willingly, and more faithfully, and eventually begins to act without being told. This is where obedience connects to something even bigger. Because a trained will doesn't just produce compliance, it produces integrity. A life where actions align with what is right, even when no one is watching. And it produces courage, the strength to do what is right, even when it is difficult. But those things don't appear suddenly. They are built there in the daily, repeated practice of obedience. So when we train obedience in our homes, we are not just managing behavior or getting through the day. We're preparing our children to live with integrity and to stand with courage and to walk faithfully with the God in whom they can trust. So this week, choose one simple instruction you give regularly in your home. Something ordinary like put your shoes away or come when I call you or clean up your space. And this week, focus on training, not just reacting. Give the instruction clearly, expect a response, follow through calmly, and repeat as needed, not with frustration, but with purpose, because every repeated moment is shaping the will. I'm so thankful for the responsibility and privilege of guiding our children. And I pray that God helps us to see obedience not as a burden, but as a gift, as the training of a heart and a will that can follow what is right and true. I pray that He gives us patience in repetition, wisdom in correction, and consistency in our leadership, and that He forms in our children a willingness to hear and a response to what is right. And through those simple, small daily moments, that He will prepare them to live with integrity and courage before Him.